Hello Year 3, Mr. Rashid here. Welcome to your second PE lesson of the summer term. Based on gymnastics, we're going to be building on lots of the activities that we learnt last week and introducing jumping today to add to what we learnt last week. So it's really important that as you're taking part in today's lesson that you take a picture or a quick video of you taking part in the PE lesson and email it in to me so I can see all the brilliant work you're doing. I'll also show this little boy your work as well. Really important that you email it to this PE address, pe@grange.harrow.sch.uk, so I can see all the great work that you are doing at home, keeping active and taking part in the PE lessons. Make sure you do that. So we're just about ready to get into our PE lesson. The first thing we need though before we start any lesson is space. So check your surroundings. You might be outside in the garden or you might be indoors. Either or, it doesn't matter, but do make sure you have enough space. So maybe one big step forward or one big step back as well. And again, one big step to the right and one big step to the left as well, because you're going to be jumping around in a bit of a space in left and right directions as well. So it's important that we don't bump into anything. So if you haven't got that now, pause, ask mums, dads, grandparents or brothers and sisters to help you move some furniture if you need to get a bit of space so you've got enough space for your PE lesson to jump around without hurting anyone or hurting yourself. Pause the video now, make sure you have enough space. Okay, well done. So once you have enough space, second thing we need to do is make sure we have the correct clothing. It's really important to wear comfortable, active clothing. It's a nice warm day out today, so I've just got t-shirt, shorts, got socks and trainers as I'm outside. If you're indoors, you might not need trainers, but do make sure you've got some socks on as well. So get yourselves into comfortable clothing. You might want to wear tracksuits, it's completely up to you, but you are going to be active. You'll work up a sweat today as well, so do wear something a bit loose and a bit light so you are ready for the lesson. Pause the video now and get yourself in the correct clothing. So well done. We should all have enough space around us. We should all be in some active, comfortable clothing as well, so we're ready to start the lesson. So first thing before any PE lesson, we need to warm up. Really important to get our muscles ready for the exercises that we're going to be doing. So as we're going to be doing some gymnastics linked to bouncing in a routine, our warm-up is going to include some bounces. So really important when we bounce, we land on our toes. Okay, to cushion our bounce, cushion our landing, bend your knees and then bend into your feet as well. So landing on your toes. So first, a bit of warm-up, I want you to jump forwards and backwards 5 times. So every time you jump forwards, that's 1. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Okay, so do that one. Once you've done that 5 times, do the same left and right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, I took that a bit slower. If you're feeling particularly bouncy, you can do quicker bounces. So you might want to go 1, 2. It's completely up to you. So bounce forward 5 times, bounce left and right 5 times, and repeat that 5 times. Okay, so you're going to be a bit achy, a bit sore, but you're going to be a little bit more out of breath. Your legs might be a bit tingly and ready for the exercises. So pause the video, rewind that little example if you need to, and off you go with your warm-up. Well done everyone, nice physical warm-up there. We should be a little bit more out of breath, might even be sweating a little bit, but that's absolutely perfect. Now we're going to continue our warm-up a little bit and we're going to be doing some broad jumping. So what we were doing was just bounces, broad jump, just standing 2 feet and jumping to 2 feet and landing. So that's what we call a broad jump. And this is a bit of a challenge and you need some pieces of equipment. So I've got some examples. It's up to you what you use as your pieces of equipment, but you need a start line. So this is going to be my start line. It's a shoehorn, but it's a nice long, you might want to use a bit of string or a shoelace to mark your start line. And then you need 3 different items to measure how far you jump. So it doesn't matter which items I've just grabbed 3 bottles out of the cupboard, so I'm going to measure my jump. So you're going to now do a broad jump, 3 different broad jumps to see how far you can jump. So when you land, I want you to get your item and put your item down exactly where you land so you can measure how far. Your second jump, you want to try and beat your first jump, and again for your third, you want to try and get even further. It's really important when you jump, you don't land on your item, okay? Especially if it's a bottle, you could roll off of it or you could break the bottle. It's really important that you land just next to where your first jump is landed. Okay, so I'll show you a quick example. So I'm starting at my start line, got my knees shoulder width apart and then nice and bent. I'm going to really swing my arms to jump as far forward as I can. So, because I've landed here, I'm going to take my bottle and put it in line with the back of my foot, which is about there. So, that's number 1. I'm going to go again. See if I can get further this time. Oh, yes, and as you can see, I did get a little bit further this time. I'm going to take my second bottle and put it in line with the back of my foot, and this is my third. Okay, let's see if I can get even further than the white bottle is my aim now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think I've sneaked just ahead on my third jump, just there in line with the back of my foot. So I want you to give that a go, 3 jumps, and then measure your jump each time using that broad jump. And I want you to give that a go 3 different times. Okay, so once you've done 3 jumps, collect them all back in again, collect them back in again, and go again. Do please send me a picture of your jumps, maybe even of your landing point, so I can see where your first jump was, where your second jump was, and where your third jump was. It would be great if you can label them 1, 2, and 3 as well. So take a photo of that and send them in to me. Good luck. Come on to the main activity in a moment. Okay, well done, some brilliant broad jumps. They're really impressed. Very well done if you got further and further and further with each jump you did. Great effort, very well done. We are going to continue a little bit with that as well to see if we can get even further with our broad jump, and we're going to include 2 bounces before our broad jump this time. So same kind of layout, you need your start line and you need your 3 items to measure your jumps. So I'm going to stick with my 3 bottles, but this time we are going to add in 2 bounces before our broad jump. So we have a little bit of a run up and then we do our broad jump. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of going towards the camera so you can see. So I've got my start line, then I'm going to take 2 steps behind the start line. So I'm going to do 2 bounces and then I'm going to do my broad jump. Okay, and again measure how far you can jump on 3 different occasions. So again, a bounce, and a broad jump. Oh, wow, that time I can already tell I've got much further than my first broad jump. So I'm going to measure the back of my foot and the bottle. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Again, starting line, 1 step, 2 steps. Oh, wow, that time just a little bit in front again. So my target is the white bottle. 1, 2, ready. 1, 2. Oh, ooh. So that time I didn't get as far, but I tried my hardest. So give that a go. 3 different jumps. I want you to do that 3 times again. So collect them in. Go back to the beginning. And 3 different attempts. Again, take a photo. I'd love to see your bounces and broad jumps to see how far you can jump for this part of the warm-up. Good luck. Pause the video. Off you go. Wow, very well done. Some brilliant jumping there for that part of the warm-up. So we are now into our main activity and we're going to put together a sequence linking some of the positions that we held last week. So a quick pause point for a question, and I want you to email me in your answers to this. What were the names of the 4 different positions that I showed you in last week's lesson? And I'll put some images as to what they were, but I won't put the names. So what were the names of the 4 different holding positions that we did in last week's PE lesson? Pause the video, write them down, take a photo of that and email it to me at pe@gymnastics.com. grange.harrow.sch.uk, and I will be sure to give you a shout out and some class charts points for those that do send their entries in. Okay, well done for those of you that did manage to get those 4 activities down, those 4 holding positions from last week. I am going to reveal the answers, so if you haven't written those down yet, pause the video, get a chance to write them down, and then email it to me. So the 4 holding positions that we did last week that we're going to include in today were the dish hold, there was also the arch hold, there was the front support hold, and there was the Japana or front straddle. I'll give you either one. They were the 4 holds that we did in last week's lesson that we're going to incorporate in today's lesson. So we're going to link our jumping, our bouncing, and our broad jumps into those 4 different holding positions as well, into a routine. So I'm going to show you an example how we can put them together, and then it's up to you to create your own routines using bouncing, that kind of thing, broad jumps, that thing. Then we've got our dish shape, and we've got our arch shape, and then we've got our front support shape, and finally our Japana or front straddle. And then bend forward as far as you can. So those are the different exercises, the different positions that I want you to put into a routine. I'm going to show you one very quickly. You use that if you want to, be creative, add some different versions, tweak some versions, take some photos or videos and do send it in to me. So this is my routine of how I'm going to put all those together. So, there you go. I used some bouncing, broad jumps, then I did front support, Japana, dish shape, and an arch shape. So you give it a go, rewind and have a little look if you need to have a quick recap on how to do some of those. Put your own routine together, film it or take some photos and send it in to me at this email address. Can't wait to see some of your routines. There will be class charts points, certificates, and definitely included in our shout out video towards the end of the week for those of you that do send them in. So looking forward to seeing your routines. Enjoy, be safe, keep active, enjoy the lesson, and see you soon.